Day 235 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again another day, another LeetCode problem. This time we're at day 235, still going strong, y'all. Today we have question number 124, binary tree, maximum path sum. The difficulty level is hard, but don't worry, you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. So let's get into the question. The question says, a path in a binary tree is a sequence of nodes where each pair of adjacent nodes in the sequence has an edge connecting them. A node can only appear in the sequence at most once. Note that the path does not need to pass through the root. The path sum is the sum of the node's value in the path. Given the given the root of a binary tree, return the maximum path sum of any non-empty path. So let's break that down. Let's look at example 1 so we can see what it is they're talking about. So in example 1, we have the input root equals a binary tree, 1, 2, 3. The output is 6. It says, the explanation says the optimal path is 2, 1 to 3, which a path sum of 2 plus 1 plus 3 equals 6. So the path does not necessarily have to start from the root. We're not just adding all the numbers or all the values up in the binary tree. That's not how this works. It just happens to look that way in example 1. However, really, as you can see, it says the optimal path is 2 to 1 to 3, meaning they did not start at the root. They started at 2 and they went from 2 to 1 to 3, which is a sequence of nodes where each pair of adjacent nodes in the sequence has an edge case connecting them, right? So this is the path going from 2 to 1 to 3, just like that. And when we add up all of the values in this path, that equals 6. Now let's look at example 2 where it might be a little tricky and it won't come out the same. It won't work the same way where we can just add up all the values in the binary tree, right? So in example 2, we have the input root equals the binary tree -10, 9, 20, null, 15, and 7, and this time the output is 42. So as you can see, if we went from 9 to 10, that'd be -1, right? We went from 9 to -10, add those together, that would be -1. Then we come to 20, that would be that would be +19. Then we add 15 to 19, that would give us 34, and we add 7 to 34, which would give us 41, right? However, as you can see, the output is 22. So you know that's not how they got that output, right? Explanation says the optimal path is 15 to 20 to 7, right? And with the path sum of 15 plus 20 plus 7 is 42. So that's how they got 42. They went from 15 to 20 to 7. So as you can see, remember I was saying how up here we're not just adding all the numbers together, right? So down here, this is why it wouldn't work, because if we went from 9 to 10 to 20, we would have to choose. We could either go to 15 or we could go to 7, right? We can't just split the path up and it be the same path. Now, if this 7 was a child node of this 15, it'd be different, but it's not. It's a child node of the 7. So the path can either go 9 to -10 to 20 to 15, or it could go 9, -10, 20 to 7, right? We can only split it once in this case, and that's only because you might say we split the 10, the root node, but that's only because we started over here, so we didn't really split it. We went from 9 to -10 to 20. It's not like we went from -10 to 9 to 20. Nah, we started at 9, then we went to -10, then we went to 20, then we went to 15 or 7. However, it also says, where does it say up here about the root, right here, the note that the path does not need to pass through the root. So, and this is a good example of where the path doesn't even pass through the root, right? Because one, we want the maximum path, right? So even if we did include all of the values, we still get 41, which is less than 42, and we want the maximum path sum. But in this case, we didn't even have to pass through the root to achieve that. We just went from 15 to 20, which is 35, and we went from 20 to 7, which will give us 42. So the path is just 15 to 20 to 7, just like that. We don't even include the root or this child node over here, and that's why, because if we did, we still wouldn't get the maximum path, and we want the maximum path, right? So that's why the output is 42, and that's also why you cannot just add all of the elements together, because that would mess up the path. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the fun part, the actual solution, y'all. But before we get into the solution, if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check that link out in the description. And then after you do that, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. So now that we understand the question, let's get into the solution, y'all. So the first thing we need to do is we are going to create a helper function. So we're going to come underneath this function. We're going to say func or DFS, func, call it DFS, open up the parentheses, underscore node, colon, tree node. That's going to be a tree node, question mark. And then it's going to return an integer, just like so, right? And what this is going to do is it's going to perform a DFS and calculate the maximum path sum for us, which is what we needed to do, right? So it's going to do this we're either going to include the left child or the right child or the current node alone. Whatever we need to do, that's what we're going to do in order to find the maximum path. If that means we only have to find one node or the current node by itself, then that's what we're going to do. So first thing we need to do is we need to check if the current node is nil, and if it is, we're going to return 0 since it doesn't contribute to the path sum, right? So to do that, we're just going to say guard let node else, open up the brackets, return 0. Boom, just like that. Now we need to recursively calculate the maximum path sum of the left and right subtrees. If the path sum is negative, we're going to treat it as 0 and ignore the negative paths. So in order to do that, we are going to declare a variable called left max, and we're going to set that equal to the max, open up the parentheses, we're going to use some recursion, we're going to say DFS, open up the parentheses again, we're going to say node.left, come outside those parentheses, but still inside the other parentheses, and we're going to say comma 0. Now we need to do, that's how we're going to traverse the left subtree. Now we need to do the right subtree, right? Or recursively calculate. That's how we're going to recursively calculate the left subtree. Now we need to do the right subtree by saying same thing, declare a variable called right max. We're going to set that equal to max, which is going to find the maximum value of this DFS, the node.left, where we use the recursion, whichever value that gives us, or 0. Whichever one is the max, that's the one we're going to return. And we're going to do the same thing for the right. We're going to say DFS, node.right, come outside those parentheses, still inside the other parentheses, comma 0, right? Now we need to calculate the maximum path sum, including the current node that we'll be on, and both its left and right subtree. So this is going to consider the current node as the root of the path. So in order to do that, all we're going to do, well, first we need to come up here and we need to declare a variable called res. We're going to say var res. This is in the class, not in a function. We're going to say var res equals int.min. And that's going to allow us to initialize the smallest possible integer value to ensure that any path sum will replace it when it needs to, right? Because we're calling the max down here. So now we're going to come down here, and this is where we're going to calculate the maximum path sum. So in order to do that, we are going to say res equals max, open up the parentheses, res, comma, left max plus node dot val plus right max, just like so. Then we're just going to come down here. We're almost done. We're going to say return max, open up the parentheses, left left max plus node.val, comma, right max plus node.val, just like that. Boom. Then we're going to come up here, and now we need to start the depth first search traversal from the root node, and this is the function we'll be calling, right? So from the max path function, so all we need to do is call this depth first search helper function that we just created, and say dfs root, passing root as the parameter, and then we just return res, which is going to return the maximum path sum that we found. So let's run this, see how it runs. Ooh, okay. Let's see where we go wrong at. So there should be a space right there. Should be a space in between the underscore and node. So let's run that, see if that fixes it. Let's see. Okay, almost there. Now we need to just that's a typo. We need to put the A in max. Now let's see, and it's accepted, y'all. Look at that. So let's submit it, make sure it stays accepted, y'all. Let's see. And look at that, y'all. 3 milliseconds beats 54.87% of users with Swift, y'all. Not too bad at all. That concludes our lesson for today. I hope y'all learned something. We're getting started. This is probably the third hard question we've done in this whole series. So hope you're excited about doing this hard problem. We're challenging ourselves a little bit. And so yeah, get one more look at the code. Hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.